Oh, just left it.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Can y'all hear me well? Let me say hello to everybody. Got Cherokee Girl, Annette Graff, Little Deb, Millie, Borkia, Kiely, Jean Polyumus, Tama, September Virgo, Linda Wilson, True Crime and Other Stuff, Debbie Z. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Oh. So, yesterday was a rough one. If y'all can hear me and see, you can know I'm not feeling well. This mess has been horrible for everybody in our house to kick. We've been struggling for about 5 weeks now, and apparently half of Little Man's pre-K is struggling with it as well. Whatever it is, it's some kind of cold, virus, whatever, that morphs to viral pneumonia. And the reason I'm having such trouble with it is because of the long fungulitis. Alright, so that's why y'all hadn't seen me. That's why this is going to be a short live stream. I'm working on 2 videos concurrently to upload that have nothing to do with true crime, just to let y'all know ahead of time. One is an art hacks video that I've been promising y'all that I'm almost done with. And another one is going to be the season roundup of this Love After Lockup. I've been taking notes from the last 2, now the 3rd one coming up video. I'm just feeling pretty cruddy, y'all. And it's just me and Little Man and Mom. Lacey's at work, so I kind of got to be listening for them. She's still on bed rest. The knee is not healing well. My blood pressure's still having to take extra. It's an extra 50 milligrams a day at this point, above what I had been taking, that they're going to leave me at. So I had to figure out how to come up with that. I know, Linda, it just seems overwhelming, doesn't it? So there's a couple things I want to discuss. I want y'all's opinion on something. So, the cause of death for Kiely's been ruled an accident, and the report was put out. There's a couple things in there I want to discuss that, to me, matter. It might be in that. It could be the flu. I tested negative for fungulitis, thank God. But there's a couple things in that report I want to discuss. To put it in terms that we all understand, 0.8% in my state. Okay? It's 0.08. When you blow that, oh, Melissa, I have been there. I'm trying to think of the name of it. There is a team that comes out and does inspections and stuff for the county. You need to get them out there now. It will give you the ability to go to small claims court and make the landlord pay for your medical and moving expenses. And if they own any other properties, they will lose all county and city services to those properties. Don't sound like much, but when you can't rent a house or live in it because you can't get water or electric or any other services there, just a tidbit, because I went through it with the black mold, and I still say that's why I get sick, and it's so hard for me to fight it off. It's not the health department. It's building and inspections. It's a whole different part. For mine, it's a whole different, like, building all the way across on the other side of town. The health department's not going to do jack. It's not them. It's building and inspections. It has to do with that landlord being able to rent. Then you go to the courthouse and you file indigent. And you take them to small claims court. They have rental property. Code enforcement. Thank you, Angela. They're in code enforcement. You can go to the courthouse and you can file indigent. And they own property. If they own a rental property, they have properties that can be taken and they can be forced to give up. What's up, Nana's Angels? So here's my thing about Kiely. Going back to the autopsy and toxicology, which I understood that toxicology was sealed. I'm a little confused on what we saw. If they have other properties, Melissa, get on it. Go first thing, if you have a legal aid department that offers free legal advice, that's where I suggest you hit first. They will help you file the paperwork doing it indigent, which means you do not have to pay any fees to the courthouse to get them to court and get them served. Okay. So back to the autopsy report. When it comes to alcohol, to help everybody understand, we're by state it's 0.08. If you blow that, you're legally drunk. Doesn't mean that you're intoxicated. Don't mean that you're out here sloppy drunk drooling, even when you are legally drunk. It means that in a court of law, you are legally drunk, and doctors and lawyers and judges and everybody all together has decided that you're impaired enough that you are likely to not be in full control of your faculties and maybe do something you wouldn't do, cause an accident, be involved in one, whatever. So, she was 0.088. Almost 0.09, but not quite. So she was legally drunk, according to tissue samples. Now here's the problem. This is something that may not be explained to folks. Y'all have heard the term lividity. Y'all have heard the term bloat and all that. Well, let me explain how that plays into this. What you might not know, and you guys are welcome, you can Google this. You'll find that I'm giving you factual information right here. When you die, the longer your body goes through decomposition, the more certain gases are released inside your body. Then you're in water, encased in water. And I know that this is a little gross, and I apologize, but there's no other way for me to tell you but to just be blunt about it. Certain gases are released within your body. That's why when we pass on, we take people to the morgue or to the funeral home or whatever. Embalming fluid and other fluids Fluids are drained from the body and other fluids are put back in to preserve the body. So this doesn't happen. There's even been instances where someone was underwater and the body kind of acted like a bomb because of the gases that were released and that were inside. You can't say it's the equivalent. The average person, it would be the equivalent to 2 to 3 beers, 1 to 2 shots. The problem is the average person. She is not the average person. She was a 16-year-old that weighed less than 120 pounds. Weight and tolerance levels play a big part as well. Now, I ain't even got to those factors. I want to get to the factor of that. What I'm trying to explain to you guys is a tissue sample of someone who is already experiencing certain progressive amounts of bloat and lividity in a water grave, for lack of a better way to put it. There are certain gases that are released within the body. Ethanol is one of those gases. Ethanol is also what they test for to see how much alcohol is in your body. The problem with that, after somebody's been in the water for 2 weeks, is that could be off by 0.05%. Okay? Understand what that means. Anywhere between 0.00% to 0.05% could be an excess. So we go, if we factor that in and we cut it in half, then that means that it was 0.044%. Okay? Well, that's half the legal limit then. She might have had 1 shot or somewhere between a half a beer to a beer. There are multiple studies that show that post-mortem alcohol on a body that has been for longer than 48 hours in water without treatment, you cannot get an accurate blood alcohol. You cannot get an accurate tissue alcohol sample due to the gases released during decomposition. Understand what I'm saying? Unless that amount of alcohol was totally off the charts or almost minimal, somewhere in the middle, like where it's at, it's not reliable. So you can't say that she would, in other words, she had some alcohol in her system. Some. She had Delta 9. It killed me to hear people talking about, listen, Linda's, if they bought legal Delta 9, which is the synthetic form of THC, even trace amounts are going to show up. It really doesn't show. It just says she tested positive. It doesn't give us an amount on that. And I'm doing a little research to find out what else can show up. What's up, True Crime with Don B? Mods, please don't forget to drop links for those. Now, well, welcome. We're a fan of yours, Don B, so there you go. What I think is important to remember is they said she died from drowning. They didn't say. My problem is we're supposed to believe that somebody that knew that area drove right off into the water after sitting for 14 seconds. And that's what the time lapse. We ain't even talked about how the cameras take pictures and how that part works, y'all. Remember, those cameras, I did a little research. It takes one picture every 2.3 seconds. They're triggered, they're motion censored, and triggered to take those pictures. It takes one picture every 2.3 seconds. Kind of like certain type of surveillance cameras that are at like convenience stores and places. That's why it looks choppy when you play it back. So here's my question. If we counted 14 seconds of time in playback of that video, but they only take a picture every 2.3 seconds, that means you would have to double and then some the time that she was sitting there paused before. I ain't got to that part, Paloma. So we're to believe, if you do the math, I got 31.3334 something. I mean, it went on to infinity like pi seconds. So a little around 31 seconds is the actual time lapsed while there. Now, not factoring in the fact that there's only a picture taking every 2.3 seconds. Michelle Walks figured the average speed was 11 miles per hour. But how does it change by the way the video is produced? It isn't made in real time. It's going to be splotchy and spliced together. So does that mean her speed was faster or slower? I don't know. I'm not that good of a mathematician and I'm not that good of a scientist. I'm being 100% authentic. But I know something's not right. Now, where's the black box data? That's what I want to see too. I want the black box data. Because I'm going to tell y'all the same thing I said about the video. It doesn't show and it doesn't answer my questions. So, and I know I'm going to piss some people off with this sentence that's about to come out of my mouth, but I ain't never been one to hold my tongue. And I'm not going to start today. Gray Hughes, you're a jackass for calling people that are asking you questions nutters, dumbasses, and everything else. Dude, you ain't no better than nobody else. That's that mentality that I can't stand. That's why I'm waiting, Cherokee Girl. I want to see what California Highway Patrol says. But we're going to go over something too. I have an affidavit I want to show y'all. I've debated about it. But I want to show y'all this affidavit that was submitted about Mr. Wu, who's the... Where's he been? Ain't he the sheriff at Placer County? Where the hell's he been the whole time? Why's he been so non-existent? But we've seen all the other sheriffs and like I'd be wanting to know if this happened in my town. I'd be wanting to know where the hell's my sheriff? Ain't that what I elected him for? Why is he not up there talking to me? Why is he not up there making a statement? And I'm going to continue to say something I say all the time. Law enforcement can lie to us. This case has pissed me off and made me mad for Summer's case. And oh boy, Candace, if you really are staying back up on Ben Hill, I'm going to tell you something. CPS is coming to knock and say hello. You better know that shit. And I didn't do it, but I know it's been done. And I know multiple people did. They reported your ass, and I hope they keep reporting you and Jody Sue and Andy. I'm not falling at the feet of none of these people that are still considered persons of interest. I don't understand that mentality. I don't get it. If that's what I got to do to get ahead, I'll stay the fuck behind. Excuse my French. Sorry, not sorry. Andy, you ain't no better than Jody Sue. If y'all was together 25 plus years, if she's a crook and she's dirty and grimy, guess what? You're a fucking dirty, grimy crook too. You don't stay with somebody for that damn long if you don't approve of what they're doing. I don't care. Bingo. And that's another thing. Thank you, Don B. Exactly. We agree on this. Let me say this. I don't care if it really is an accident. Let's say for shits and giggles that what we saw in that video is really what happened in this case. That Kiely, by the way, that video doesn't tell if somebody else was in the car. It doesn't show us who was behind the driver's seat, in the driver's seat, and drove the car in. It don't even really tell us, Gray Hughes, if somebody got out with your lightning you put on it. By the way, putting that overlay on it does change things. I do have a background in business computer programming, which made me have to take a lot of programming classes. Yes, it might have been back in the days of COBOL and RPG 1 and RPG 2 and Scientific Atlanta and Pascal, and those are obsolete terms that nobody knows what means anymore, probably. But the point is that anytime that you change video, you change things. You change it. You can't help it. I'm going to say this again. That video does not answer the questions I had, which is, Sammy's 18, Kiely's 16. Sammy made statements on multiple different platforms and to multiple persons publicly that her and Kiely shared the same cup and that she was drunk, so she knew Kiely was too drunk to drive her home. Sounds to me like Sammy was more drunk than Kiely, based on the autopsy results. Make y'all mind up. And she's 18, so she openly admitted to contributing to delinquency of a minor. And in my opinion, contributing to that minor being deceased. Because I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. If mama had not give the car keys in the car to someone that wasn't supposed to be driving, she arrived at the party allegedly at 10:30. She wasn't supposed to be driving by herself or with her buddies at 10:30. That was illegal and against the law. So had you said no and not allowed the car to be drove, your daughter would still be here. Sorry, not sorry. I hate to put it that way, but that I'm sorry, it is true. Then you shared, Sammy shares alcohol. Yes, now some of you said, well, she's not 21. Okay, she admitted to 2 crimes then. Thank y'all for reminding me. She possessed alcohol underage, and do I know that's a crime? Yes, I do. Would you like to know why? I'll tell you why. Because at the ripe old age of 18, I decided to get drunker than a cooter on vodka. Had a half a gallon of Aristocrat, Blue Label, Carolina Blue, 100 proof. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sure did. Sure did. Wasn't driving. My friend said, hell to the nah. We'll let you get drunk, but we're not driving. Y'all remember the little orange juice containers that look like mini milk jugs? The plastic ones? I had about 3 of them or 4, can't remember. I thought it was funny and couldn't understand why the cop kept laughing at me when I was getting the ticket for possession of alcohol underage. He could have gave me public drunkenness or drunken disorderly, but they was nice and gave me a citation that I had to go to court for, that got printed in the paper, that my mom and daddy pulled me into Burger King, and I was wishing like hell that I could stay in the bathroom and never come out. That being said, I kept telling the police officer when he asked me how tall I was 5'6" and 3 inches. He said, what? I said 5'6" and 3 inches. Couldn't figure out what was so daggone funny. I drank that entire half a gallon of 100 proof vodka by my damn self, okay? I was 18. I was drunker than a cooter. Oh, you know it's going to be some straight drama. I was drunker than a cooter. And still wasn't stupid. Still wasn't stupid. But my friends took care of me. They wouldn't let me have my keys. They wouldn't let me drive my car. Real shit. Now, I know how intoxicated I was at that point. And I'm thinking I would have blown the scale apart, okay? Because I'm not lucky to be alive. Because my friends did what they should have done. I don't know how to put that. I don't know how to explain that if it's not getting through. But my friends didn't leave me alone. Didn't leave me somewhere. I don't know how else to explain this, but to say, do you really believe for an instant, that had she not been left alone after drinking and driving at a time she wasn't supposed to, that she would be here today and we wouldn't even be having this discussion? Seriously. And that goes to my point of legalities. And why there's honor in silence. Well, if Sammy can be charged because of her actions that led to Kiely's death, is there somebody else that can be charged? I'm just saying. It's a question and a thought. Now, I'm going to show y'all a video. If y'all think that Nevada County and Prosser County police can't get up here and look us in the eye and lie, I'm going to show you a video I posted a week or so ago. And y'all ask me, can they or do they lie? I think Kiely was the designated driver. I think she had maybe one drink that was spiked with some good old hard liquor based on what her autopsy report shows. Because she couldn't have much alcohol in her. Not with 2 weeks. Not with all the gases. She wasn't drunk and she didn't drown, exactly, Vicky, because there was no water in the lungs or the stomach. And it's going to be in your stomach if you drown because you're gasping for air and you're swallowing it down both your airway and down your esophagus. That's why I wanted to see the autopsy. And that's why it's even worse. But anyway, I'm going to mute and I'm going to play this video. I've already got it queued up. And then we're going to look at this affidavit. And then I might have to say goodnight. Millie, I don't know the answer. That I'm not a medical doctor. I just know that you need some water in your lungs if you drown like that. What is that, Miss Vicky Pierce? I can't play Under's copy of the report, though. A lot of people don't understand that. We can't just play a video from another creator. I'll get struck like hell for it. I'm waiting to see what Vicky's saying that bothered her. I have another report that's exactly which is an indication of a subdural hematoma, Vicky. Yep. They're going to say she hit her head on the windshield. My question is, listen, everybody's like, oh, the reason that she ended up in the back is she's trying to reach that air pocket of water. Okay, I buy that, except for one problem. When the car flipped upside down, it would, if it went in the way we saw, it's going to be going nose down and leaning to the left to get to where it was found. It's got to barrel roll to the left. So when it's upside down, the ceiling is your roof. Her body didn't float into the back because of lividity. Because if it would have went up, when it floated up to go to the back hatch, it would have been hitting on the seat where your ass sits or on the floorboard, because that was what was above to float up to. The opening to get in the hatch would have been down at the bottom. Does that anybody understand what I mean with that? If the story would be believable if the car was sitting on its tires, but the car was upside down. Now, here's another problem. You flipped the car over. You totally screwed the pooch on the crime scene. When the car got flipped, it messed up the location of the body. I don't know if it's so much a cover-up as ineptitude. You couldn't find the car, even though you circled all over it and all around it. The map you were using didn't even have the area where the car was found on the map. Yep, Tama. Now, she was sloppy falling over drunk, but she's barely legally drunk, even after gases are released inside the body, and ethanol is one of those gases that are prevalently released. She was in the water for 2 weeks, y'all. They could not find the tattoo, I agree. My question is why? And I'm going to tell y'all something I'm looking into, so if anybody has any information on it, let me know. Does the length of time and the number of man hours, the length of time that the car and her are missing, and the number of man hours have anything to do with federal, state, government could be receiving? If anybody understands what I'm asking. In other words, if that car was in the water for 21 to 30 days, if that car was in the water more than what it was, okay, longer, like say 21 to 30 days or 45 days or 60 days, 90 days, I don't know the days, I don't know that it exists, but if that car was in there longer, or a certain number of search hours and days, oh my god, my phone's ringing, I can't find it, hold on, let me mute. Okay, sorry. The question that I was asking, I know and I understand that we, the taxpayers, funded all of that. What I want to know is, a lot of times there are federal, state, county grants that are issued or that can be obtained. And I'm wondering if, let's say, they were working for 2 weeks to find her and doing the searching and whatnot, they can get, say, let's say, they get 50,000. But if it's 30 days to 60 days, I can tell you why, Vicky. I have the hold on a minute. I have the dispatch logs where they had to call for somebody to come get the body 2 or 3 times. I have that dispatch log. What I was saying is, hold on. Is that in my hometown? What I was saying is, I want to know if, say, for the first 12 days, maybe, you get, Shiduki. For the first 12 days, maybe you get, hold on a minute. Okay, this is about the Raleigh shooting that was sent. Okay. If the body is in the water for 2 weeks, maybe you get 100,000, okay? And if the body's in there for 60 to 90 days, do they get 250,000 in grants and monies? That's, I guess, what I'm trying to find out. Is there some sort of special grant that maybe they could have got to buy, I don't know, more sonar equipment, to have their own dive team that's not volunteer, since they have so many bodies of water, those kind of things. Honey, there's all kinds of pork belly monies that are built into bills that are passed, and its politicians need to know to get them. And I'm just wondering, is there something there that we're missing? Never hurts to look. Now I want to show y'all this video right quick. It's a short that I did. A lot of people didn't watch it, so you can see only 38 people have watched it. So let me play it, so maybe y'all understand something. Oh, and if anybody would like to contribute to my PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, it'd be greatly appreciated. Hopefully I can get it tonight before 10 p.m. I need to get my medicine. I've got to get more blood pressure medicine because they raised my amount, and I'm going to run out and be 3 or 4 days total without blood pressure medicine at all. So that's what I thought, Vicky. Yeah, there was no tattoo. We don't know. And the cremation occurred, and we may never know. They'll never get to go back and see if they can find that tattoo subdermally or anything. Let me play this, and you'll see where I'm going.
Why did agencies believe it was an abduction at first?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of miscommunication. I don't know that it was ever labeled as an abduction. I think that you can never take that off the table. And so as we talked as a command, these types of operations.
Why did agencies believe it was an abduction at first?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of miscommunication. I don't know that it was ever labeled as an abduction. I think that you can never take that off the table. And so as we talked as a command, these types of operations.
Why did agencies believe it was an abduction at first?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of miscommunication. I don't know that it was ever labeled as an abduction. I think that you can never take that off.
Okay, I'm going to read what should be coming up on your screen. You see them say, they never said it was an abduction, right? Right here, KCRA 13. Kiely Rodni, 16, was reported missing Saturday morning after she didn't come home from a party at campground in Truckee. The Placer County Sheriff's Office confirmed Sunday night that her disappearance is now being treated as a possible abduction case. I'm reading that to you. Now watch. Let's go back and listen.
That off the table, and so as we talked as a command,
Why did agencies believe it was an abduction at first?
yeah, I think there was a lot of miscommunication. I don't know that it was ever labeled as an abduction. I think that you can never take that off the table, and so as we talked as a command, these types of operations.
Why did agencies believe it was an abduction at first?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of miscommunication. I don't know that it was ever labeled as an abduction. I think that you can never take that off the table, and so as we talked as a command, these types of operations.
Why did agencies believe it was an abduction at first?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of miscommunication. I don't know that it was ever labeled as an abduction.
Alright, we're going to go right on into this affidavit. In case y'all don't know about it. And I want to say, maybe it's just me, yeah, Paloma, I'm agreeing with you. It's down as an accident and drowned. They're saying it was an accident. My understanding, Paloma, is that it's an accidental drowning death. Am I incorrect about that, Paloma? They're saying that it was an accident and that she lost her life through drowning. It's the understanding I got from all of the paperwork I read. If you're seeing something different, please let us know. Okay, yeah, I don't believe it. Sorry, not sorry. And I don't mean to, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not trying to dishonor her. How do you drown with no water in your lungs or your stomach? None. So if somebody can answer that for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. right on September. Everyone counts. There's a lot of train track and water deaths. And it seems to take a while to find them, or when they find them, they're classified as being homeless or hobos or whatever. Right, Tennessee, I agree with you. Because law enforcement said no foul play. You guys are going to understand why I'm agreeing with you if you just wait a moment. Nope, they sure didn't, Vicky. I noticed that too. I think part of it is because law enforcement said it was an accident. So let me know in the chat if any of you guys have seen this affidavit. Right, Cherokee. So does it, let me ask this. Calling it an accident, meaning that it wasn't a premeditated criminal act, even if there's foul play, even if it's a crime, does it mean that nobody can be charged with contributing to that accident? I mean, if I'm up on a ladder painting my house and I fall to my death because I slip, it's a total accident. But if I fall because Jane got me drunk and then talked me into going up on that ladder, does Jane have any responsibility for me falling? And is that different than Jane getting me drunk, talking me up on the ladder, and knocking the ladder out from under me? Yes. All of those are different, but all of those have different levels to them. Me just falling uninebriated because we laughing and talking is a pure accident. Me falling because I'm drunk and underage and Jane is over the legal age to be an adult is different. Okay, let me make it bigger, and I'm going to read it to y'all. I'm just getting my glasses out. This, if y'all not seen it, this is Charles Jeffrey Wilson, attorney at law. And if y'all not seen this, no, I'm agreeing, Tennessee. She wasn't really drunk. She wasn't doped up. There's no fentanyl in her system. One pill can kill. They just had, funny thing to me, they had a meeting and a video out from a Placer County community workshop when that hit, called One Pill Can Kill. Who's watching Mac and Screams? Y'all better leave Mac and Screams alone. That's right, you can be charged. And here you can be charged in my state for not getting help. Absolutely. Okay, let's read this. Okay. Charles Jeffrey Wilson, attorney at law. This is May 15th, 2022. Okay. First is the letter that will explain to you what this is about. It is from Jared T. Ead, Esquire, Chief Legal Officer regarding requests to disclose documents regarding allegation against Wayne Wu. Dear Mr. Edie, I am in receipt of your letter requesting certain documents regarding allegations that have been made against Placer County Under Sheriff Wayne Wu. I am aware that the allegations against Wu have again become relevant as he is seeking to replace Devin Bell as sheriff. I have read documents where Wu and his attorney have claimed these allegations of SCXUAL misconduct with a minor have been investigated and determined to be completely unfounded and baseless. I have also seen a document where Wu's attorney threatened legal action against anyone who makes or has made these allegations. While I have disclosed the fact that I have documents and information that refute that claim, I have refused to disclose these documents, including Mr. DeBay. I suggested to Mr. DeBay that these documents could be obtained through a Public Records Act request. I knew that the county was in possession of all these documents, and they were not the type of documents that would be legitimately destroyed. I also knew that these documents were in the possession of the district attorney's office at the time of my retirement. That's right. The individual making this request and writing this is retired from the district attorney's office. Okay. Keep that in mind. Oh, it gets better, Tama. Y'all better hold on to your britches. Remember, sorry, y'all. Remember earlier I said, why have we not seen his face? Why have we not seen his face? Why has the sheriff not been there? Well, I might be able to explain it if we keep reading. Ms. DeBay advised me that she had made the request and that Placer County claimed they had no records responsive to her PRA request. Given that response by the county, I told her I would disclose the documents, but only in connection with a valid legal process. This would include the filing of a writ mandamus to force disclosure under the PRA to any party and or their attorney who was sued for defamation by Wu. Okay, I looked it up, just so y'all know. Writ of mandamus, basically, paraphrasing in my own terms, means that you're going to compel an agency to disclose information that they're withholding because they're protecting another government agency or entity. Hence a cover-up. Given the representations in your letter that you are considering filing the above-mentioned writ mandamus on her behalf, I will disclose the documents to you and provide a written declaration that will provide context for the documents. The declaration will also provide you with my knowledge of the circumstances surrounding the documents and the allegations against Wu. I had contemplated requiring you to issue me a subpoena for the documents. It is clear, however, that these documents will be necessary for you to have prior to filing any case, and I would simply be putting off their inevitable disclosure. Enclosed, you will find the above referenced declaration and the 5 documents that are in my possession that you have requested. Keep in mind, these are only the documents I have in my possession. It should not be assumed that these are all the documents related to the allegations. Please also keep in mind that I currently have no intention at this point of disclosing these documents to any other person unless the documents are relevant in another legal process. If you have any further questions or need any further clarification, please feel free to contact me at my email address or phone number listed above. Charles Jeffrey Wilson, in care of Lynette Dubai. That was just page 1 and 2, y'all. Whoop whoop. Just wait till y'all see what's here. Hold it, y'all. Alright. Alright. Sorry, y'all. Declaration regarding allegations against Wayne Wu. The following statement is in regard to the allegations of inappropriate sex conduct with a minor that have been made against Wayne Wu and my knowledge of the investigation of those allegations. I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth below, and if called upon as a witness, I could and would completely testify thereto. Sorry, y'all. Number 1, I was employed by the Placer County District Attorney's Office as a prosecutor for almost 23 years. During the last 10 years, I served as Chief Assistant District Attorney and was responsible for the day-to-day operations of the office until my retirement in this role. In this role, I reported directly to District Attorney Scott Owens. This role also included serving as the Public Information Officer. What? So, okay. Number 2, in 2010, I prosecuted the case of the People v. David Allen Virgo. Virgo was charged with the attempted murder of several deputy sheriffs in 2006. He was convicted and was sentenced sorry, y'all. He was convicted and was sentenced to a life term. Wayne Wu was a listed victim and was a critical witness in the case. Brady evidence is that evidence which points to the innocence of the defendant. Brady evidence must be turned over to the defense in a timely manner. See Brady versus Maryland. This includes evidence that undermines the credibility of a witness. See Giglio versus United States in 1972. The Brady obligation is ongoing and applies to new information discovered on old cases. The Brady obligation also does not allow a prosecutor to purposely ignore evidence and places a duty on a prosecutor to pursue such information when he or she is made aware that it may exist. California Penal Code Section 141 makes it a felony to intentionally fail to disclose Brady evidence. Failure to disclose could also result in disciplinary action by the state bar, to include disbarment. Thank you, Vicky, and I will pull it up and we will look at it as soon as we finish this. At least the meat and potatoes of this. Sorry, y'all. Okay. All the documents referenced below and attached were in the possession of the District Attorney's Office at the time of my retirement. I retained a personal copy of these documents as evidence that I had complied with my ethical requirements under Brady. On July 18, 2018, I received an email from a reporter asking if the district attorney's office was or had conducted an investigation of Wayne Wu within the last 2 years regarding an allegation of XEX contact with minors. It says attached A. I called the county council, Jerry Carden, and advised him of the situation. We had a brief discussion on the matter where he was dismissive of the allegation. He was clearly agitated by the request from the reporter. I advised Scott Owens of the call. Owens said he had heard rumors that there were accusations made by a sheriff's deputy named Ryan Berry. Berry and Wu had been very close friends early in their careers. Berry recently made allegations that Wu had a relationship with an underage woman and that he had actually gotten her pregnant. And Wu arranged for her to have an unalived. I believe that, Vicky. I have not spoken with Barry in many years. I only know him from earlier in my career when he was a witness in a few cases assigned to me for prosecution. I have never discussed the facts of the allegations against Wu with Barry. 8. I was then contacted soon thereafter by Sheriff Devin Bell. Initially, Bell explained that after he was made aware of the allegation, County Council conducted an investigation. He implied the investigation was recently completed. He said these allegations were in fact made by a deputy. He told me that Wu admitted to having sex with the alleged victim. He said they were able to determine the alleged victim was 18 and not underage. He did not give me the year of the alleged occurrence, but said it was sometime back when Wu was a sergeant and after Wu had divorced, or was divorcing his previous wife, divorcing his previous wife, implying that it was in the early 2000s. He claimed that they determined the victim was 18 years old based on a document they found related to when the alleged victim was a ride-along with the sheriff's department. I found this curious in that law enforcement has many databases where they can obtain personal information, such as dates of birth, that could have confirmed her age. It was also curious that he would never provide exact dates for the alleged occurrence, or the date of birth of the alleged victim. These facts were the two most relevant dates raised to the accusation once Wu admitted that he had, in fact, had a relationship with the victim. Nine. He stated the alleged victim was located in another state and did not wish to cooperate with the investigation and denied the relationship with Wu. If Bell's statement was accurate, it was clear that she had lied, given Wu's admission to the relationship. 10. As Bell continued discussing the allegation, he changed his representations as to who had conducted the investigation. He stated now that his office had done the investigation with the oversight of county council, contrary to his other statement. Bell did not disclose any further information except that this had caused problems in Wu's marriage, and Wu was regretful about the relations that he had with the alleged victim. Okay, didn't they just contradict themselves just then too? Because he was either divorced or divorcing when this occurred. So how can this be what caused the problems in his marriage? Confused. Just asking. Just confused and asking. Okay, y'all, I gotta blow my nose. Hold on a second. Okay. Alright, number 11. I explained my Brady obligations in the Virgo case to Bell. I explained that Wu gave critical testimony in the Virgo case, and these allegations appear to have occurred close in time to the arrest of Virgo. I told him I would need to at least read the report of the investigation before I could determine whether I would have to disclose the information to Virgo's attorney. On July 23, 2018, I sent a response to the reporter that I had no records responsive to her request. Attached B. Also, on June 23, 2018, I sent a memo to County Council making a request for the report pursuant to my Brady obligation. On July 24, 2018, I received a letter from Brett Holt, Placer County Council, stating that, in his opinion, the report was not discoverable under Brady, and that Sheriff Bell was not going to turn the report over to me or let me examine the report. 14. Soon thereafter, I met in person with Holt and explained to him that as a lifelong prosecutor, I was well aware of my obligations under Brady. I told him that if I read the report and agreed that it was properly investigated and unfounded, I would not send the letter to Virgo's defense attorney. If they did not let me see the report, I would have no choice but to send the Brady notification letter to Virgo's attorney. He refused to show me the report, claiming that it might waive the confidentiality of the report. This, of course, is a different reason than given in his letter of the July 24, 2018. On August 1, 2018, I mailed the Brady notification to Virgo's attorney. Sheriff Bell then called District Attorney Owens to complain regarding me sending the Brady letter. Owens came to my office and asked me if I had sent the letter. I confirmed that I had. It was apparent the Bell had contacted Owens in an attempt to stop me from sending the letter. It should be noted that I cannot be ordered not to comply with my Brady obligation. I also met briefly with Bell to show him the letter that I sent to Virgo's defense attorney. He stated that I have done a lot of damage to our relationship and that Wu was upset with me for sending the letter. This ended my involvement in the case. No further action was taken by the district attorney's office. No further investigation was done or even requested. I made the decisions to send the Brady letter because I felt there were several items that undermined my faith in the integrity of the investigation and my faith that the finding that the allegation was unfounded was credible. The items are outlined below. 17. Sheriff Bell's changing of who conducted the investigation into the allegation was troubling. It went from county council to the sheriff's office with the oversight of county council. Holt then stated in his letter of the 24th that the sheriff's office investigated the allegation with oversight of county council, and later in the same letter states the sheriff's office investigated the case. Between the two men, there were three versions of who investigated the allegations. 18. It was unclear why the sheriff's office would investigate the claim of criminal conduct and not requested it be conducted by an outside agency. I have never heard of an investigation of a high-ranking law enforcement officer being conducted by a direct subordinate. This is because there is a conflict of interest by the investigator. The subordinate officer is investigating a person that performs employment evaluations and makes decisions on promotional opportunities. If the investigator finds that the allegation was true, the assigned investigator could face repercussions in the future or at least fear those repercussions. 19. I was also aware that the sheriff's office had recently established a professional standards unit. These are referred to in some agencies as internal affairs unit. This allegation was not assigned to that unit. It was assigned to a subordinate of Wu. "20. In the past, when allegations that are criminal in nature are made against an employee of the sheriff's office, they were referred to an outside agency to conduct the investigation. The district attorney's office was never asked to assist in this investigation, nor was a case referred to our office for review. In this case, the district attorney's office also had a conflict in that Wu's wife, Christina, was employed at the district attorney's office as an investigator. The case should have gone to the Attorney General's office or other police agency for an objective and unbiased review and investigation. It appears that the determination that the allegation is unfounded was made by Sheriff Bell. He has a close personal relationship with Wu. I have been advised that they are personal friends who socialize outside of work. It would also be politically embarrassing for the sheriff's office if the allegation were true. This relationship would call into question any determination that the allegations were unfounded by Bell." 22. Oh, God, y'all. "It also creates a conflict for county council to be involved in the investigation. First, there is no reason that county council would be involved in conducting a criminal investigation. They simply are not experienced enough to conduct an investigation into criminal allegations. Second, they have an obligation to advocate for the county and its management staff. They have clearly showed that they were acting on behalf of the legal interest of Bell and the sheriff's office in the attached letter, not as an independent fact finder. I agree, Molly. I agree. 23. In addition to the conflict of interest, I lacked any faith. Let me say this. There could be another motivation besides political, besides doing the right thing, besides having a conscience. He was involved in this case. If word got out that he, working for the prosecutor's office, knew that there was a possibility that Mr. Wu's testimony in the case that he was involved in, he knew that he could be impeached as a witness because of his past history and allegations, and did not make it public, then he could face criminal repercussions. Okay? Not only criminal, but civil. He could lose money and freedom. Right, I'm with you, Mike. Keep it the Truckee way. I'm sitting here saying I don't necessarily think that this attorney was altruistic in what he turned over. I think, if you notice, he waited till he retired. It wasn't altruistic means or reasoning. I think he was afraid the shit was about to hit the fan, and he didn't want to be caught in it because he didn't participate. Real talk. Y'all don't forget to drop Mike's link for me. Okay. In addition to any conflict of interest, I lacked any faith the investigation was credible based on the statements and omissions of Bell. For example, they would not disclose the name of the investigator, the victim, and everything that was done to determine her age. It was concerning that we admitted to a relationship with the victim, and Bell claimed to confirm she was 18 by an old document they found and not by use of databases available to them. There was never any verification of that age using databases that Bell would share with me. It was also never shared when, where, or how often these relations occurred. Now let me say something to the database thing, okay? The document, I have learned looking into this person was a ride-along, which is usually pre-BLET training, high school graduation, They were a ride-along. And it's the ride-along form that was provided saying they were over the age of 18 that was used to verify. It's going to be spoken about later on in this affidavit. I know this gets a little dry and this gets a little boring, but there's some points that we really need to hit, and I don't know what to leave out. What I am going to tell you is they didn't look for a birth certificate. They didn't look for any tickets. They didn't look for a driver's license. They did not prove this person's age. How can you prove the person's age at the time of occurrence when you never gave when it occurred? They might have been 21 in 2018 or 2016 or 2015. But what were they in 2006? What were they in 2002? It depends on when it occurred. Did it occur before the ride along? Did it occur after? Did it occur during? Did it occur when they worked together later on? There's a lot. And the problem is a proper investigation was not done. It was pick the rug up, sweep the shit under it, and keep fucking going. And had that been done, would somebody more ethical, somebody more suited for that position be in power? Or would it just be another name and face that went with the Truckee way? Mama got hello. Y'all didn't see the real estate agent set up the GoFundMe? Mama got $62,000. 62,000 reasons to think there's honor in silence. Alright, y'all. Okay. Y'all, let me know in the chat if you want me to keep reading this, or if you want me to post it in the community tab section, and y'all want me to go ahead and pull up the autopsy and look at it. Oh yeah, I'm sure she did, Vicky. That's what we know of. That's just what we know of. And that's what she's going to end up losing if the right people want to take her to court, because there's documentation of when them dates was changed. No, I pray not, Molly. He sure did, Cherokee. You got that right. Y'all let me know. Tell me, keep reading or autopsy. Just type that in the chat. I don't know, Muffin. I want to know what y'all want. Y'all the ones watching. And like I said, if anybody can help support, right now I need like $27, $28 to get my medicine, and I have a way to go pick it up. So far, 2 for the autopsy, 3 for the autopsy. Just wait until y'all vote. Let me know. Gotcha. We'll look at it. Y'all give me just a second. I'll get the autopsy up, okay? Um, I'm halfway through the jar of Vicks, y'all. Sorry. I'm halfway through it. I've been putting it on my chest and feet for probably 2 weeks now. Sorry. Okay. Let me mute the play with those kid, y'all. Alright, y'all, we're gonna look over this. I'm gonna have to lay back down. I'm just so weak. I'm sorry, because I felt bad. Because I haven't been live in like 5 days, and I just haven't been able to, y'all. Well, great, Cherokee. It probably is. Who knows? Y'all ever been so sick y'all didn't care what you had? All you will do is be able to lay down and sleep and be left alone. Now imagine you can't be, because there's other people you got to take care of before you take care of yourself. And then throw in your blood pressure going out of whack on top of it. That's where I'm at. Oh, I'm sure you're right, Cherokee. I'm cranky, y'all. I don't feel good. I'm breaking out into a sweat right now. And like I said, if anybody can help, it'd be greatly appreciated. We'll get paid by YouTube 21st to 25th. And I'm going to have to do a breathing treatment. I know if I'm not feeling any better, by tomorrow I'm going to have to go to the hospital again. I'm going to owe my whole life for medical bills. I fucking hate that. And what's the point of me going? I can't get the medicines. You know, I love you too, Miss Molly. Okay, sorry. I got disgusted a minute. We need to make this bigger. And
You're awesome.
Oh God, I missed something.
You're awesome.
Okay, great. Why is it not showing? Y'all can't read the chat.